Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 between Socke and Morrow in the Zotac Cup number 15. And obviously last game, Socke taking the advantage and taking the win with his Colossus, changing his build order to get that powerful weapon of war out when he realized that Morrow was going for that mass infantry build. And I can't still quite agree with why Morrow went for so much gas and really never made that much use out of it, only pumping out a couple of ghosts and mostly marines, and really he needed more marauders to deal with that Colossus. And unfortunately, this is going to be game number 2 for Morrow, not taking game number 1. Maybe a little bit of lack of confidence here, as everybody knows that confidence and momentum are key factors in Starcraft 2. Now, because both of these players have spawned on Lost Temple, I think relative to their positions, because they have spawned in the close positions here at the 8 and the 12, I think this watchtower is going to be absolutely important for any player to control, because when you control this particular watchtower, you gain a huge circle of vision that gives you that map control and that vision to see when the opponent tries to move out. There you guys see that huge outline in the minimap right there, and so it's very important for any player to be able to hold on to that. Socke here obviously moving in with his probe right off the bat, and we know Socke is pretty good with his probe control. Gonna obviously go straight for that SCV, forcing Morrow to pull another SCV off the line to deal with this probe. And Socke, of course, his probes are valiant and resistant to all attempts to resist. And Socke here is gonna try to run around the back. Morrow lifting up that supply depot to try to block the probe. Not going to happen though, as the probe can just kind of scurry through that little entrance and gonna try to attack the harvesting SCVs as well. So Socke here right off the bat being a little annoying with his probe, but Morrow getting his barracks down right away. And I think, based on this map, I really believe that a 1-1-1 opening would be fairly strong, because you can slow push later on in the game by transitioning the mech and getting siege tanks, getting sensor towers and bunkers, and controlling this watchtower area. And so look to see possibly Morrow go for that kind of build. I could be wrong though. Morrow might opt to go for something else, maybe fast expand, who knows what, as Morrow here is going to be moving straight into Socke's base. Socke getting one assimilator right off the bat. He's going to want to get that stalker out right away. I'm actually not sure why he decided to get a zealot first, or 2 zealots now. So I guess he's going to try to put on some early pressure onto Morrow here as a second gateway goes down. Morrow scouting that out. And Morrow is going to be going for a fast expansion here. Wow, right off the bat. I'm a little curious why he threw down this refinery though. Typically when a Terran player fast expands, they throw down the barracks, they get a fast expansion command center down inside the base, and they throw 3 more barracks down to defend it. But this time Morrow's going to be getting that refinery, so I'll be curious to see what it is he's going to need that gas for so desperately. And here we go, Zealot working on the frontal marine, and the Zealot takes out one of the marines and goes down himself. Socke coming in here with a second Zealot, and it looks like he was able to stop the bunker from being constructed, but the marines, with great micro here from Morrow, is keeping them alive. Socke is going to just run in here with the Zealot to see exactly what's going on inside the Terran base, and the bunker is now fortified. The bunker is up with 3 marines, but Socke is going to try to run right past it and work right on this SCV. Looks like the internal Zealot here did get destroyed. 2 more barracks on the way for Morrow at this moment. Socke here is going to lose this stalker. And wow, I'm surprised that Socke was not able to do more damage. Obviously here with 2 gateways off the bat, chrono boosted a bunch of zealots, but he was not able to affect any damage onto Morrow. And now Socke, realizing that, has decided to grab his own fast expansion so that he can keep up with Morrow. And it's a wise choice, really. You do not want to fall behind economically to a Terran player. It's like signing your own death sentence. And so right off the bat here, Socke going to be morphing in a stalker and a sentry out of these 2 gateways, also getting warp gate technology here for his Protoss units. Meanwhile, it looks like Morrow here throwing down a tech lab on one of the barracks, and so he is going to be pumping out a couple of marauders, I would assume. No, he's going to be researching stim pack for his marines, and so we may actually see this game end quite early here. Morrow here has gone for a fast expansion to essentially, I think he's trying to trick Socke into thinking that Socke is safe. I think he's trying to trick Socke into thinking, oh, I can fast expand, I'll be safe and fine. But what Morrow is really going to do is use the extra income from this second expansion to mass a ton of Marines. And look, he's got 2 reactors going down right now. Oh my goodness, he's going to be pumping a plethora of Marines, and he's going to be making an early push here to punish this fast expansion of the Protoss player who thinks that he's safe, but in all likelihood, Morrow here has Stimpack on the way, obviously going to be getting a ton of Marines out. And I think there's going to be a lot of pressure in the next couple of minutes here, as Morrow has now salvaged his bunker. He is ready to go on the move as soon as that Stimpack is done researching. Socke here is going to need a lot more Zealots. He might even need some cannons or something. He is quickly getting his robotics bay on the way though, so he may be able to get a Colossus out in time. I'm not quite sure, as the Marines here dealing with the Stalkers. I'm not quite sure where Morrow, there we go, more Marines on the way for Morrow. And the more he has, the better, as he is engaging the Stalkers. But Socke, with incredible micro here, is running and shooting. There goes the stim, as Morrow is going to try to get into these Stalkers and take them down. He is able to take one of the Stalkers out. The third Stalker almost falling here in the red. The Guardian Shield goes up. Socke forced to pull probes off the line as he realizes how many Marines are on the field here. But unfortunately for Morrow, these Marines are very weak. They are in the red right now. But more Marines being researched at the back for Morrow, along with the Marauder. And combat shields on the way as well. A 5th barracks going down. 3 tech labs, 2 reactors. Morrow here is gonna look to end this game relatively early here, as he's just massing infantry. He is not teching to anything else, and Socke realizes that he is getting his Colossus out as soon as he possibly can. He knows he's gonna need the Colossus to deal with the infantry like he did last game. And so essentially, we're kind of seeing a repeat of last game, but this time, Morrow is not making the same mistake. He's not getting those early expensive ghosts. Instead, he's throwing down more tech labs. He's going to have a lot more Marauders. My goodness, 7 barracks going down here for Morrow. So he's going to have a massive infantry ball pushing out soon. Concussive shells and shields on the way. I'm excited to see when Morrow pushes out. Looks like Socke here is controlling that center location on the minimap, controlling that watchtower, which is going to give him, like I said, that vision to see when Morrow decides to push out. The army count showing Socke is slightly behind Morrow. Morrow at 90 supply, over 66 right now. Income relatively even for both players, but that extra mineral from the mules really helping Morrow to get a ton more Marines out. And here we go. It looks like the shields and the concussive shells have been finished, and now Morrow in a lot of trouble. Or Socke in a lot of trouble. He has 2 Colossus though. He doesn't have any sentries for force field. The sentry goes down. And Socke has got to be careful. He is doing a lot of damage with these Colossus, but the Marauders rushing up there with their Stimpaks, gonna take out those Colossus, and Socke forced to fall back to the high ground ridge above. Morrow takes the middle map position, now has control over the watchtower, but it doesn't look like he's gonna settle for that. He is gonna push in for victory here, and is he gonna be, wow, he takes out the Colossus from the ground below, and that has got to be it for Socke. He has another Colossus on the way, but it is far from being done, even with Chrono Boost. These Marauders are so close to death, but it doesn't matter. A 1 life Marauder or a full life Marauder, it just doesn't matter, because they still do that mass amount of damage. And it looks like Morrow punishes Socke for going for that fast expansion. The Colossus comes out, the 4 gateways warp in 4 reinforcements, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Colossus has got to be careful here as the sentry force field goes down to prevent those Marauders from rushing up and taking out that Colossus. Socke here has that extended range. Yes, he does have the extended range, and it is helping him deal with this infantry. But the problem for him right now is he's lost his fast expand. He doesn't have nearly the rate of income that Morrow has, and Morrow now finally pushing in with no force field to make an obstacle on the ramp. Morrow's gonna take game number 2, and it is going to be 1-1 in favor of each player in the Zotac Cup number 15. An exciting series already as we move on to game number 3.